Traditional marketing department structure is dead, or at least it's dying fast. And I think a lot of CMOs and marketing leaders right now are sitting on a ticking clock and they don't even know it. Today, I'm going to break down why that is, what's replacing it, and how to actually make the transition, because this isn't hypothetical. This is happening right now in 2026. And the companies that figure it out first are going to have a serious competitive advantage. So let's start with the structure most marketing departments are still running today. So you've got your CMO or VP at the top of marketing, then a few directors, brand, demand gen, content, paid media. Below that, managers, and then the big base layers, coordinators, junior copywriters, junior designers, social media coordinators, PPC specialists who just manage bids all day. The base is the biggest layer. That's the classic pyramid. Now, here's the problem. If you're a mid to large company right now with a marketing team of, say, 25 people, a big chunk of that headcount, I'm talking at minimum, half of it, is doing the work that an AI agent could do today. Not in 2 years, today. You've got people scheduling content, resizing images, and writing first drafts of emails, pulling reports from Google Analytics, formatting decks. That's all manual execution work. And the reason companies have been paying humans to do all of that is because historically, that's how you scaled. You need more output, so you hire more people, volume-based labor. That model made sense in a world where human labor was the only way to execute. We're not in that world anymore. But here's the missing part people miss. It's not just that the work is automatable. It's that base layer is also the most expensive part of your org in terms of managed overhead. Junior people need constant oversight. Their work gets reviewed, they have to be trained, they make mistakes that a senior person then has to go fix. And if you actually add up the time a director or manager spends reviewing a junior work, giving feedback, running training sessions, catching errors before they go live, that's a hidden tax on the entire organization. You're effectively paying twice, once for the junior person's salary, and again for the senior person's time to babysit the output. And that's before you factor in the cost of mistakes that actually make it into the world. Wrong messaging sent to the wrong segment, an off-brand post that goes live because nobody caught it. Those aren't just embarrassing, they cost real money. So what replaces the pyramid? I've been thinking of it as more of a diamond shape or an hourglass. You have a senior leader and a strategist at the top, a tight focused middle, and instead of that wide junior base, you have AI agents doing the execution. Base of the pyramid doesn't disappear, the work still gets done, content still gets produced, campaigns still get executed, but the people doing it aren't human and they don't need managing. They're systems that need designed, and designing these systems is a senior level job, which is why the value shifts up, not down. The most valuable person in marketing organizations in 2026 isn't the junior person grinding through a content calendar. It's the person who can look at a business strategy, understand the brand deeply, and then design the systems of agents and workflows that bring the strategy to life at scale. That is a completely different job description, and a lot of companies haven't caught up to that yet. Now let's talk about what that actually looks like on the AI side, because I think there's a big misconception here. Most people's experience with AI right now is open a chat window, type a prompt, get a result, copy and paste it somewhere. That's generative AI as a tool. There's still a human in the middle of every single step. Agentic AI is completely different. An agent is a system that receives a goal, breaks it down into subtasks, execute those subtasks, and reports back, all without someone manually prompting every step. You're not in the loop for the execution. You set the goals and guardrails and the system runs. And the best version of this isn't even one agent. It's what people are starting to call agentic swarms. Multiple specialized agents that each do one thing really well, and they talk to each other. Think about what that looks like for content marketing specifically. You might have an SEO agent constantly monitoring keyword rankings and generating content briefs based on what's trending in your space. Then a content production agent picks up those briefs and drafts the actual articles. Then a quality agent checks the content against your brand guidelines and style guide. Then a distribution agent schedules it, publishes it, and repurposes it for social. The whole thing runs end to end. No human touches it unless something flags a rule or needs a judgment call. That's a closed loop marketing system, and it's not science fiction. This is being built right now. The companies that are furthest ahead on this are the ones that have senior people who understand both marketing strategy and system design. Because to make this work, you have to be able to define what good looks like for the agent to know when it's done. You have to document your brand voice precisely enough that a content agent can work with it. You have to decide what gets escalated to a human reviewer versus what ships automatically. That's all high-level strategic work. No junior person can do it. And this changes the CMO's job description in a fundamental way. The CMO is no longer a people manager in a traditional sense. They're not running one-on-ones with 15 direct reports and reviewing everyone's work. They're a systems orchestrator. They're designing the digital ecosystems that produce results. And honestly, that's a lot more interesting of a job. You're not building a machine, you're building a pyramid. But, and this is important, it requires a completely different skill set. The CMOs who's rose through the ranks by being great at managing teams, internal politics, and budget cycles, that is not the same as knowing how to architect a multi-agent workflow. These are different muscles entirely. So you're going to see some really experienced marketing leaders either upskill fast or get displaced by people who are 10 years younger but know how to build these systems. So who actually stays in this model? If you're rebuilding a marketing department from scratch right now, what does the human side of the team look like? I think you end up with two types of people. First, senior strategists. And by senior, I don't mean job title. I mean genuinely high-level thinkers who understand the business, the customer, the brand, and can make judgment calls that have real stakes attached to them. Second, system builders, the people who can actually configure and maintain the agent stack. Think of them like AI ops specialists for marketing. They're not strategists, they're not junior coordinators, they're a new category of technical operator. And neither of those is the junior coordinator you're probably hiring right now. The junior coordinator job, scheduling posts, resizing images, pulling weekly reports, that whole category is going away. Not because the work goes away. The work still needs to happen, it's that you no longer need a human to do it. That sounds harsh, and it is. But it's no different from what direct deposit did to the person who used to spend Thursday afternoons writing checks so everybody got paid on Friday. That job went away, and the people who adapted moved to higher leverage work. The same thing is happening here. If your only value is that you know one tool really well, you're the HubSpot person, the Canva person, the Google Ads dashboard person, you're in trouble. The agent doesn't need to be trained on that tool. It already knows the tool better than you do. Now, what does the senior strategist actually spend their time doing in this model? Almost entirely high-level synthesis and brand integrity. They're looking at what the agents are producing and asking, does this actually reflect who we are? Does this campaign align with where the business is going? Are we sending the right message to the right people at the right time? Does this feel human? Because agents are great at producing volume. They're not great at knowing whether something is going to land emotionally. An agent doesn't know that your audience just went through something culturally significant and that the post you scheduled last week is going to feel completely tone deaf if it goes out today. That judgment is irreplaceable, at least for now. So when I say human in the loop is the last quality gate, you're not writing the email anymore, you're approving it. You're not building the campaign anymore, you're setting the strategic parameters that agents work within. And here's the thing, if you strip away all the noise around job titles, org charts, that approval and strategic direction is the highest leverage thing a senior marketing person should be doing anyway. Think about the most senior marketer at your company right now. How much of their time is actually spent on that high-level synthesis versus reviewing junior work, sitting in status update meetings, editing a deck for the fourth time? Most senior people are wasting most of their time. The agents fix that. One really good senior strategist with a fleet of well-designed AI agents can outperform a team of 100 entry-level people, not just in volume, because obviously agents win on volume, but in strategic quality, because the senior person is never stuck in execution. They're always thinking. And the skill that matters most in this model isn't communication or people management, it's precision. How clearly can you define what you want? What does good look like? Where should the agent stop and ask? That's prompt engineering at a strategic level. It's basically writing a job description that's unambiguous enough for a machine to follow without a human having to babysit every step. Okay, so if you're a CMO or marketing leader watching this, that makes sense. Where do I start? Biggest mistake you can make is trying to do everything at once. You don't flip a 25-person department into an AI native model in one quarter. That's not realistic, and you'll blow it up trying. You do it in phases. So phase 1, you audit. Map every single task your marketing team does on a weekly basis. Then bucket everything into 2 categories: high judgment tasks that require human intuition and context, and repeatable execution tasks that follow a defined process. The execution tasks are your agent candidates. Start there. I guarantee when most marketing teams actually do this exercise honestly, they're going to find that 60 to 70% of the work is in that second bucket. That's a sobering thing to look at, but it changes the headcount conversation completely. Because you're not asking who to let go, you're asking which roles structurally don't make sense to fill with a human anymore. And as people naturally turn over, they leave, move on, or retire, you don't backfill those execution roles. You take that budget and invest it in agent infrastructure and one more senior strategist. It's a slow swap, not a sudden layoff. So phase 2, pick one workflow and build the agentic stack for it. Don't try to automate content and email and paid media simultaneously. Pick one. For most teams, I'd say start with content production because the ROI is the most visible and measurable. Articles published per week, organic traffic, time from brief to publish, you can see it clearly. Get your SEO agent, your content brief agent, and your drafting and editing agent working together, with a human reviewer approving final outputs before they publish. Run that for 60 days. Measure it, then you have a proof of concept that lets you go to leadership and say, here's what the model looks like at scale. Here's what it cost, here's what it replaced, and here's the output delta. Which brings me to something critical. You have to define your agentic KPIs up front. Not just how much content are we producing. That's not an ROI metric. The metrics that matter: cost per price of content before agents versus after, time from brief to publish, error rate, how often does something need major revision before it can go live, and ultimately revenue impact. Are more leads converting because content quality improved? Is organic growing faster? These are numbers that show up in your P&L. See, here's the thing. Only about 18% of businesses are actually measuring their AI ROI right now, which means the other 82% are going to have a hard time justifying continued investment because they can't show the numbers. Don't be in that group. Build the measurement in from day one. And here's the big picture reason all this matters beyond just your marketing department. Right now, marketing headcount scales with marketing output. You want to do more, you hire more. That's just always how it's worked. But if you've got a team of 8 senior people running an agentic stack, you can scale output without scaling headcount. That is a fundamentally different relationship between budget and output. And for enterprise valuations, that's a massive deal. You're decoupling revenue growth from headcount growth. That's operating leverage. And marketing hasn't historically had a lot of it. The companies that figure this out in the next 12 to 18 months are going to look very different on a cap table than the ones that are still adding headcount to do manual execution work. Now, I want to be very clear because I don't want this to land as a cold fire everyone take. The people who will do well through this transition are the ones who are learning how to think strategically about AI systems right now. If you're a junior marketer and you're watching this and your response is, okay, I'm going to learn how to build and manage these workflows, you're going to be one of the people who gets hired as a systems builder. There is real, well-paid work in that role. You're just not going to get hired to do manual execution anymore. The people who are at risk are the ones waiting for someone to hand them a playbook. It's like if you're the best ditch digger in the world and someone shows up with a backhoe, that specific skill is useless. But if you understand drainage and grading and what makes a good excavation, you can operate the backhoe. The knowledge transfers, but the manual skill doesn't. So, to summarize, the pyramid is dead or it's dying. The base layer of junior execution is getting replaced by agents. The value is shifting to senior strategists who can design these systems and validate the output. And the CMOs who figure that out first, who rebuild their departments around a lean core of elite thinkers plus an agentic execution stack, are going to run circles around the ones who are still adding headcount to do work that a machine can do. It's whether you're going to be the one leading the transition or the one explaining to your CFO why your department costs the same as it did 3 years ago and output hasn't changed. If you want to talk about how this actually applies to your business, how to audit your team, what to build first, how to measure it, go to infactodigital.com. We work with business owners just like you on exactly this. There's also an AI for small business webinar linked in the description where we walk through implementation strategies and real use cases. Check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.